Hello everyone and welcome to the home of Minnow Nation football, DNQ football. You may have forgotten who we are because it has been quite a long time, Ryan, since we've done a video like this, a mixture of personal busyness, lots of interviews rather than other videos recently.
Yes.
And also the total lack of international football means that we haven't done too many videos like this.
No, you bang on, mate. You bang on. And this is, typically before a tournament, we do a kind of a preview because there's so many teams and so many matches. We're kind of taking a different approach to it this time, aren't we? With a quick fire kind of predictions thing. But before we get into that, you've touched on it, mate. It's been a really, really busy period for us both, hasn't it? We won't divulge too much, but you've moved. I've had some family additions, shall we say? Well, family additions, a family addition. That makes far more sense. So it's been really, really busy, and then kind of, I guess what is quite a positive is the fact that we have been busy and there has been no international football. So it's not like we've been missing out on stuff, but it's just we've not been as active as maybe we'd like, and we've not had a call like this where it's just me and you for what feels like ages, mate. We had those 3 interviews on the channel, which are great. But no, it's nice. It's nice to get our teeth stuck into a proper tournament, and a tournament with so many minnow nations again, mate. I'm so buzzing for it. And I'm buzzing for this video.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Ryan said, there's just too many teams. As you can see here, you've seen me scroll down. We're going to cover League C and League B because that's where the majority, if not all, of the minnow nations lie. I'll just show you League A, and it's. Fair play for like Suriname being in there, but they're still a great side. It'll be interesting to see how that group shapes up. But we're going to run through League C, who we think the winners are going to be, and then we're going to go across to League B and pick winners and the side that we think is going to get relegated.
Yes,
so top and bottom. And remember that if you come top of League B, you are in the Gold Cup. You are automatically in the Gold Cup.
Yeah,
so it's a great tournament, the Nations League.
It's so good, mate. It's so good. The thing is, as well, what I quite like about this, because we're doing a proper out-and-out predictions, is you and I don't know. I wouldn't say we rate ourselves from kind of a knowledge standpoint, but we've called some things pretty accurately in the past, mate. We have called things accurately in the past. So this is what I quite like. This is a very, very documented version of that. And then what we'll have to do is after the Nations League, or maybe after this first round of kind of games, we can sort of react to our predictions to see just how far off we were. Be interesting to see, and then we'll have to see who predicts things better, mate. But no, so what we're going to do, we're going to start from League. We're going to start League C, are we? League C, Group A, and then work through, and then nice.
A. And like you're right. In the past, we've predicted things that have been quite accurate, but I think maybe our AFCON prelims qualifier was probably a good example of educated guesswork more than anything, because we didn't know too much about those teams. I feel like we do know more about the CONCACAF sides, so it will be really, really interesting to run through. But we are going to start in League C, Group A. Now, Group A is the only League C group that's got 4 teams in it, so there's 6 games, which is massive. 4 match days now in June, and then 2 next March. So the teams are Bonaire, Sint Maarten, Turks and Caicos Islands, and USVI, so that's the Dutch Sint Maarten.
Yep.
Go on, you lead off on this one.
I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, mate. My group winner prediction for League C Group A, Bonaire.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Obviously, as you know, I'm a Turks and Caicos Islands fan.
You say that in every video?
I have to. I just have to, in case people don't know.
Where's the shirt?
I've not got it on. I've got my... I'm actually wearing Dutch colours, so I suppose you could say I'm a Sint Maarten fan. But for me, you look at it, Turks and Caicos Islands were in the same group as Sint Maarten last time out, and they beat them both times. It wasn't... these are the games why we love the Nations League. They weren't dominant displays by any means, but they were both in the group with Guadeloupe, which was just ridiculous, to be honest. But the Nations League is finding its feet. I'll be really interested to see how Sint Maarten get on against other sides. I'll be really interested to see USVI. But if I had to pick a winner, it would be it would either be Turks and Caicos Islands or Bonaire, but I too lean towards Bonaire in that one.
Oh,
I think that
okay.
they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. You know what? Just for the sake of difference, I'll go Turks and Caicos Islands. But I think it will be between those two teams.
Yeah, I looked at so Bonaire at the tail end of 2021 only lost 1-0 in a friendly with Curacao, which kind of might have swayed me a little bit. So we'll see how we go. So League C, Group B then, mate. St Kitts and Nevis, Aruba, Saint Martin. Who's your winner for that one?
My winner's St Kitts.
Yes.
My winner's St Kitts. I don't understand how a side as good as St Kitts are in League C. I don't know how they got relegated last time. The only challenge to that for me is Aruba. Aruba have got a few good players, talented players, but across the pitch, there's no way that St Kitts should not win this group. No way.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to be boring here. I'm not going to go anything for the sake of difference. I also would go St Kitts and Nevis for the Group B winners in League C. That's my prediction.
You look at it; they're higher in world rankings than some teams in League B.
I was looking at this earlier. Yeah. So you've got the likes of Montserrat and Guyana and stuff in Group B that are down at 174, 178 for those two. And then St Kitts and Nevis, I think, are 142 or something or whatever. They are. Yeah, they've got good players. Got relegated from League B last time, and I think they'll win Group B in League C this time out.
Off the back of a very good World Cup qualification campaign, we must say as well.
Yeah, true.
Really good side. Right then, this is, I would say, the next two groups are, you know what, Group B is probably my least favourite group because I do just think it'll be a little bit of a canter for St Kitts. But Group C and Group D here are so interesting. So we'll start with Group C. Yep. We've got Anguilla, Dominica and St Lucia.
Yes.
So you go first.
I like this one. Really like this one. Now, Anguilla, whilst being bottom of the FIFA World Rankings, have been improving and they've been putting a lot of effort into their national team. They've had a number of UK camps getting players together. So I'd expect them to do better.
Yeah.
But it's going to sound harsh. Not get battered. They'll be in games a bit more, I'd expect. My prediction to win this group is Dominica. It'll be close between... It could be them or St Lucia, but I'm going to just it's a coin toss. It's a coin toss for me, mate. I'd go Dominica for Group C winners.
Dominica striker Julian Wade actually plays in the Scottish leagues now, which is really cool fact. I think it's a toss-up between the two as well. Again, for the sake of difference, I'll go St Lucia.
You're good, mate. You're good.
Just for the variety, because I do think it will come down to those two. I think you've pretty much nailed the kind of Anguilla preview. I really like them as a side, one of the lowest ranked sides in the world. But I do expect them to not cause upsets, but to cause difficulties for the other two sides.
Yeah.
And that's
I think they'll be harder to break down.
Yeah.
I think they'll be harder to break down, but we'll see. Dominica to win that for me, and you're going. Yeah, you're going to St Lucia
for the sake of difference, but it'll come down to those head-to-heads, I imagine.
Yeah.
Or maybe even goal difference, to be honest. And that's the thing in these groups of three that you have to consider as well.
Yeah. And then to kind of round off League C, mate, Group D with Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, and the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah. I think Puerto Rico will win this group.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'll say is there's a few British Virgin Island players I'm really keen to see in this tournament. A few players that played okay in the World Cup qualifiers against better opposition, and it'd be interesting to see. I'm obviously excited to properly see Frederick Charlery as well for the Cayman Islands, because he's a very good defender for this kind of level against some of these sides. So it'll be really interesting to see that matchup. But Puerto Rico, along with a few other sides from this region that kind of go under the radar, are actually very good footballing sides.
Yeah,
they have a few good players. That are just, I think, a level above. So I think Puerto Rico for me.
I'm not going to go different for the sake of difference. I'm going to go the Cayman Islands just because I think they could do something here.
Yeah.
I think the British Virgin Islands, this will be a real marker for how they're progressing. They're kind of their young squad and how they're developing. It's still probably a little bit too early for them to show their progress as a nation. I'd say the BVI. The BVI are my favourite international minnow side, so we'll be live streaming a couple of their games potentially. So I really hope that they do they do fantastically well and prove me wrong. But I think that Puerto Rico and the Caymans will just have a bit too much for them at this tournament. And I think the Cayman Islands, look, it could go Puerto Rico. It's one of those, isn't it? But I'm going to go for the Cayman Islands for this one.
No, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I hope Frederick Schuyler has a good tourno, mate.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, Josh Bertie sadly will be missing out for the BVI, and I think that's one of the more experienced internationals, even though he's, you know, a young guy. They've got a lot of young blood in that team, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Yeah,
but that's it.
So moving on to
League. We move on to League B, which is 4 groups of 4, so 6 games apiece in this. This is huge. This is where you get some really good sides, and you don't actually get any poor sides. You get a few sides that you think, oh, they're going to have a tough time, but nonetheless, really good groups, and obviously everything on the line because of Gold Cup qualification for the winner.
Yeah, this is what's amazing. What I love about League B is you've got that blend of quality teams, but then also those smaller minnow nations.
Yeah.
And the fact that the smaller minnow nations have got an outside chance of Gold Cup qualification. And those that actually, so we're gonna do our predictions for who's going to come top and bottom. Yeah. But those that come second go into CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims. Qualification prelims. So all to pay for it. I just love it, mate. Absolutely love this tournament, man. Love this tournament. Do you want to start us off on League B Group A for predictions?
I can do. Well, so I'll run through. So you've got Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Cuba and Guadeloupe in here in League B. I'm going to throw a curveball out there. I think Guadeloupe are going to win this group.
Oh, is that a curveball? I was going to go Guadeloupe.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then. I think there's not a perception, but like Guadeloupe aren't a FIFA registered nation. Yeah, and I think, you know, they were in League C last time, so if they do go League C, League B, and then are in League A next time, that's still a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I'm
probably right.
Guadeloupe.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same, and the reason is they've had a couple of friendlies this year. Their most recent was only a 2-0 defeat to Cape Verde, which is a good result. And so for me, I'm going Guadeloupe to win it, and I'm going to go Antigua and Barbuda to get relegated to League C.
I'm going to go Barbados to get relegated.
Yeah.
I think it's between those two to get relegated.
Yeah. I think it's worth adding, though, for anyone that watches this and go, why are you saying my team's going to get relegated? We don't want any of these teams to get relegated. We love all of these nations. We're just taking a kind of an early shout based on these groups and who we think is going to end up fourth in the group. But for me, Antigua and Barbuda, you think Barbados for this. It's a tough group. Cuba are a good side. Yeah, Guadeloupe are a good side. Yeah. Barbados, Antigua, Barbuda, evenly matched sides. And it'll probably come down to that clash, as you said, as to who ends up and if anyone can nick any points off Cuba. We'll see. We will see.
The top 2 in whatever order will be Cuba, Guadeloupe. Bottom 2 in whatever order will probably be
I think so too.
Barbuda, Barbados. And it's one of those things, you kind of pointed it out there. It's like, I do believe any team in League B would win a League C group. I don't think there's any team where there's maybe a few contentious ones because obviously St Kitts are in League C randomly. But broadly, we're not trying to say that these teams are bad. It just shows the quality of the teams in these groups.
Exactly that, mate. Let's move on to Group B. League B, Group B. A group with... Love this group. What a group this is. This is probably my favourite group, actually, of League B. Haiti, Bermuda, Guyana and Montserrat. So for me, I'm just going to lead with this. I think Haiti are going to win this group. I think what you've got with Bermuda, Guyana and Montserrat is 3 evenly matched teams that are going to really fight for that second spot and that spot in CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims. Who is going to get relegated from this group? I'm going to go Bermuda, but it could be anywhere. It's so tight, mate. It's so tight. I'm going to go Bermuda, but I'm a little bit unsure. I could be proven wrong, as we could be with any of these predictions. Easily could be proven wrong. That would how I go for Group B. What about you, pal?
For me, Haiti will win this. I've watched Haiti a number of times. I know their squad from the French leagues. They're very good. Every player pretty much is a professional footballer for this team. Something that the other teams don't have in quite the same level. You know, whilst Montserrat have like Lyle Taylor, Haiti have a couple of players that are a similar-ish level. that maybe we just don't know because they don't play in the English leagues. They've got very, very good players, and they got pretty far, only losing out to Canada before getting to the octagonal in terms of World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
Guyana had a really poor World Cup qualification system, but they didn't have Neil Dans or Sam Cox in the squad. They now do. They've recalled those players. Those are huge additions. They saw them get to the Gold Cup a few years back. So I'm probably going to mimic you, actually. I think it'll be really close between Bermuda, Guyana, and Montserrat, and I think this could be another one that comes down to goal difference. I think they'll all take points off of each other, or there'll be like a point in it. I don't think there'll be a kind of a punch bag in this group, but it's going to be really, really close. But I'm going to say Haiti to win, Bermuda to potentially get relegated. And then we're on to Group C. I mean, this one's got a few more like proper minnows in it. It's got Bahamas, Nicaragua, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago. I'll kick this one off.
Go on, mate.
It's not easy. I don't think there's a clear winner. I think it's between Nicaragua and TNT. I'm going to go Nicaragua.
Okay.
I just think, again, maybe it's slight bias because I've seen them play. And I think they're a very good footballing team. So this is... I think that the two teams that are going to struggle in this group are St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Bahamas. And I think they will struggle more against Nicaragua than they would against TNT. And that's why I think that Nicaragua will win this group. And my side to get relegated, Bahamas.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting one, actually. This one, it's a really, really tight, at both ends. I think you've summed it up well. It's going to be Trinidad and Tobago or Nicaragua that wins the group, and it's going to be SVG or Bahamas that get relegated. I'm going to say Trinidad and Tobago to win the group.
Okay.
And then Nicaragua I would say Nicaragua then. A couple seconds. Of the teams that are going to go down, I think that. What did you say for this one?
I said Bahamas.
I am also going to say Bahamas. The reason that I'm going to say that is they had two pre-tournament friendlies, both against the Turks and Caicos Islands. They won 4-2, and then they lost 2-1. And Bahamas are also, they're ranked fairly low down. In World Cup qualifying last year, they lost 7-0 to Puerto Rico. So I would go Bahamas there. I hope they can prove us wrong, and it's going to be a real tight one. Them against SVG, it'll be a close game, and it'll be whoever kind of wins that or whoever comes out on top across those two games probably will see themselves in that third spot and avoid the drop. Interesting. It is
interesting, and I think what you picked up on there is those. They played the Turks and Caicos Islands, who are one of the lowest ranked teams in the world, and don't really tend to win many games.
No.
Turks and Caicos Islands might not even win their League C group. And we've got Bahamas here, who lost to them in a pre-tournament friendly, and even their win 4-2. That's not what you'd maybe expect for a League B side to be playing a League C side. And I just think Bahamas are a good League C side, and I think that League B will be a little bit too much for them.
And then finally, mate, Group D, League B, Group D with Guatemala, French Guiana, Dominican Republic, and Belize. How do you see that one going?
I'll tell you who's going to get relegated. It's going to be Belize. Right? I love Belize. They're one of my favourite footballing nations. Dion McCauley is just what a player that guy is.
Goal machine.
Goal machine for Belize. I don't think that they're... I think if they'd have got a slightly different group, they maybe could have done enough. Could they have picked SVG if they were in Group C, for example? Not sure. I just think that they're in a really tough group. I think Guatemala, French Guiana and Dom Rep are good sides.
Yeah.
I'm a bit torn for a winner, to be honest. I feel like I'm going to pick Guatemala, but I almost don't want to because I think I've picked every team that plays like Spanish-style football. So you know what? Just for a bit of a difference, I'm actually going to go... Oh, no, I am going to go Guatemala.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we're going to do this properly, we don't have to do it just for the sake of picking different things, because I'm going to go exactly the same, mate. Belize, all the reasons you said, love them, great players. Guatemala to win, because they're a they're a really good team. I just think that's how it'll end up. So yeah, I'm echoing your thoughts on League B, Group D there, pal.
I think that for me, there's a couple of groups where it's broadly clear. The groups where it's clear who's going to get relegated, it's not clear who's going to win it. And the groups where it's clearer who's going to win it, it's not as clear on who's going to get relegated. Which I know seems like a really random thing to say, but I think there's either a standout team to go down or a standout team to win it. But League B is so amazing, because it does give the opportunities to, Belize, for example, if there was a miracle and they were to win that group, they'll be in the Gold Cup. And it really gives these players something to drive towards, and it's why the Nations League is just so amazing.
Yeah, love it.
But that rounds us off. Those are just 8 incredible groups across Nations League B and Nations League C for the 2022-2023 tournament. Thanks so much for joining us on DNQ Football. We will be here throughout the tournament, so make sure you watch along. Like and comment on this video. Who do you think is going to go up? Who do you think is going to get relegated? And don't forget to subscribe as well. We cannot wait for this one, and we'll see you next time.